Hello, my friends. Ezra Levant.
Live. Sorry, I'm coughing. As you can see from the very sunny window behind me, I am at Heathrow Airport, and I am on my way home to Canada. Tommy Robinson's latest trial. He was on trial in Luton.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, for passengers travelling on Air Canada's flight ACN 592 Toronto, for those passengers already here at Gate Lounge B44, and for those passengers just joining us, we do
Sorry,
reiterate that we
we're
are
going to
operating a completely full
we're
flight,
going to be
so there will
flying
not be
soon.
enough room on
Sorry,
board
I'm
to take
mumbling. I'm just
all our
listening.
pieces of hand
It
luggage.
sounds like I
We
have to
will
go
be
back
able
to
to check
Toronto
in your
very
bags
soon.
free of charge through
So
to
I'm
your
giving you a
final
quick update.
destination if you're on the same-day connection out of Toronto. But this must be done prior to boarding in order to assist us in establishing plenty of extra space on board at the end of
All
the
right,
boarding
I'm going to
process.
ignore those
So if you
noisy
do not need your bag
announcements. I'm
on
at
board
Heathrow,
and
as you
have to
can
check them
see.
in, kindly
I flew
uphold desk
in
number
this morning. I
4. All
landed
ladies
around
will be on hand to assist you. That's
7:15,
desk number
and
4. For any passengers wishing to check in
sorry, I
their
just had
hand
a
luggage,
snack,
go to the side desk here at gate
and I'm going
B44
home
and
right
kindly
now.
check
So I
your
haven't
bags
even
for you
been
free of charge
in the
through to your final
country
destination
for
prior to
10
boarding.
hours.
We also like to add that every flight that we fly
And I'm a
on is
little
based
jet
on
lagged, and I
all
have to
passengers
admit I
on
didn't get a
board.
wink of sleep.
Let me tell you what I saw at Port Sydney. And I know it's very noisy. They're just making announcements.
So in order to avoid any delays in departure, we'll be giving
Give
all
me
passengers
one
the opportunity
second
to
till he's
check
done.
in
He's so
for any
noisy here.
bags you do not need on board, free of charge, all the way through to your final destination.
All right, I think he's done. So let me make this quick because I don't know if you can hear, but we're about to board. Tommy had a hearing in Luton Town. That's his hometown. There was Tommy's lawyer, there was a prosecutor, there were cops there was a judge, there were 4 other journalists. What was the subject matter? Not a criminal proceeding against Tommy. He's in no risk of his liberty. He's not going to go to prison, God forbid, or anything like that. They're prosecuting him, and this is a government prosecution with police, with the Crown Prosecution Service. They're prosecuting him to ban him from attending any football games in the UK. That's what detectives and prosecutors off of the crime wave here in the UK. I don't know if you know. Um, Sorry about that. I just had a snack. There's this huge crime wave in the UK. Acid attacks, knife attacks, and of course, the constant threat of terrorism. Um, they took the police off those less important projects, and they put them on Tommy to try and ban him from attending soccer games. And here's what's so crazy. Today was a meeting, a hearing, a case management hearing. There will be another hearing, a preliminary evidentiary hearing on January 17th, and then there'll be the main trial in March. Have you ever heard of such an enormous trial because they want to keep someone out of a soccer game, a football game? Today's hearing, January hearing, March hearing, 3 hearings. How much police and prosecutorial resources are being put into this? And the idea of banning someone from any football games in the whole country, why? He hasn't done anything wrong. Well, the excuse they use is that when he was on vacation I think I have something in my teeth and I'm terribly embarrassed. So I'm going to show you the outside of Heathrow while I check to make sure I don't have anything in my teeth. Okay, I don't, thanks. Tommy went to a football game in Portugal, and someone came up to him, abused him and his wife verbally, was threatening him. Tommy sent his wife away. It was so bad, and the lad approached him a 3rd time. Tommy knocked him down. No charges. Police in Portugal didn't deem it a crime. It was a minor scuffle. Frankly, the guy had it coming to him if he was abusing Tommy in the way that was reported. So there was no crime committed, no charges. The Portuguese authorities didn't care. But the busybodies, the nuisance suits, the lawfare activists in the UK thought, this is the way we can take Tommy down. And so they're literally prosecuting him in the UK to get him, not for the punch, not for the crime. They're not putting him on trial for punching a guy in Portugal months ago. They're trying to ban him from ever attending football games in the UK. It's crazy. And of course, Tommy loves his football. So I attended the first of at least 3 hearings on the subject, and knowing the UK as I do, there'll probably be many more appeals and whatnot. But let me tell you what I think was the craziest part of today. It was a short hearing. We were in and out in 35 minutes. The judge's name was Nicholas Lee Smith, if I'm recalling. Seemed like a good judge to me. Seemed fair. Seemed sharp. Seemed very attentive. So I had not been in this court before. As I always do, I ask permission to live tweet. Okay? I just want to make sure the judges know that I'm not taking liberties. Every court I've ever been to, I've been allowed to live tweet. The Old Bailey, the Royal Courts of Justice, Peterborough, etc. So as a courtesy, I said to the clerk, "Can you tell the judge I'd like to live tweet?" And the clerk comes back and says, "Well, do you have your credentials?" I said, "I'm from Canada. We don't have journalism licenses." I said, "I'm happy to come and explain myself to the judge. It shouldn't be a problem." It was not a problem, but the judge asked me to address him in open court. So I did. I introduced myself. The judge was great. He says, "Yeah, no problem. Just don't take any photographs." And I said, "Of course not." But there were 4 other journalists there, and since the judge was talking about journalists, he addressed the other journalists too. And he said, normally, in a court like this, you have the date of birth, full name, and street address of the person on trial. So Tommy's full, proper name, Stephen Lennon, was read into the court. His date of birth, I don't remember it. But when it comes to Tommy's home address, that's private. Because if it were to be revealed where Tommy's home was, his wife and kids, they would be at great risk for violence, for terrorist attacks. In fact, he is at great risk even with it fairly secret. Sorry, there's more announcements here. I'm going to talk through it. So there was this application by Tommy's lawyers that Tommy's street address would be told to the court quietly, privately. They would tell the court where he lives, but they just wouldn't say it publicly for the world to know. Tommy's lawyer wanted that. The prosecution agreed to that. And the police agreed to that. Do you get me? So it's standard procedure to give a guy's street address. But because of the risk to Tommy, all the officials in the room said, no, 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 we don't need to say that publicly. Understand what I'm saying. The adverse party, the people suing Tommy, the prosecutors, the cops, they all agreed. Do not say Tommy's address out loud. It's not relevant to the case. It's utterly irrelevant, and it puts him and his wife and kids in danger. Don't say it in public. And the judge was happy to agree. But I swear to God, a journalist behind me, one of the 4 other journalists, stood up and said that she objected. She actually asked the judge. She said she wanted the right to publish Tommy's home address to the world. I am not kidding. That's what happened today. Now, in the end, the judge granted the application to keep Tommy's address confidential. But over the objection of a reporter. Now,
the clerk of the court said, talk to the judge about the live pleading, please never interrupt the court proceeding on my notes. This reporter didn't come to report, she came to alter, she came to fight.
If your intention of moving on which does not indicate a zone number, we find out that increase remains
Might be running out of batteries.
zone number 6 is called forward. Branch on your body card and you're traveling in our business class cabin. As
The sound back. The sound back.
Please come forward.
Can you hear me? No audio.
Testing, testing. No sound. How's the sound now, guys? Can you hear me now? It's better now? Okay, I think the problem was there was this loud announcement. I'm here at the airport. I've got 6% battery left on my phone, and the announcements they're making are, get on the plane, Ezra. That's what they're saying, so I gotta go. But let me close the loop there. It was a 35-minute case management hearing today. Nothing substantive was settled. Oh God, here comes another announcement. The preliminary trial on matters of admissibility of evidence is going to be January 17th. The main substantive trial is going to be March 24th. Fine, fine, fine. But the real news today was a journalist with the mainstream media stood up in court and demanded to the judge to have the right to publish Tommy's address to the world. It had no relevance to the case at hand. It has nothing to do with public policy. There is no public interest in knowing where Tommy lives. But this journalist came to court today to make that demand. And so I ask you, if that journalist is coming to seek to alter the case, not to report on it neutrally, but to be almost a party to it, to have an influence on it. I didn't catch your name. I didn't catch your name. I got to go very soon, you guys. I'm sorry. I normally like to stick around for an hour, but I'm not going to miss my flight home. I'm keeping an eye on it. Like it's just down there. It's just down there, so I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to go when the line is almost gone. Can I ask the obvious question? You're smart enough to ask it yourself, but I'm going to ask the obvious question. If a journalist comes to court and asks the judge for the right to publish Tommy's private home address, if the journalist wants to alter the world that way, to be adverse and antagonistic to Tommy in a way that the police and the prosecutors aren't, can you really rely on that journalist to report fairly? If a journalist is demanding the right to dox Tommy, can you trust a thing they ever say? I don't think so. Okay, as you can see, we're almost on the plane. Can you do me a favor? I flew in this morning on the same flight. I'm flying right back. I got to do the same again in January, March. My flight was 1,400 Canadian plus the cab fare back and forth, all in, including airport parking. It's about 1,700 Canadians. It's about $1,000, £1,000 GBP. If you can help me out, go to tommytrial.com. I think it's important for me to be here because otherwise, how are we going to know these crazy things? All right, I got time for a couple of quick questions or super chats or whatever. I'll do this till I have to go or till my battery dies. I got like about 3% juice here. You donated 200 pounds. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What media company did she work for? I think she said PM Media or something. She said it quickly. I don't think she said her name. John McDermott, thank you, my friend. Ezra, stop begging and go to work. Well, I had to pay for the flight, mate. What's next on Tommy's mission? I didn't have a lot of time to talk to Tommy. I talked to him for maybe 10 minutes today. When will the witch hunt end? It never will end. Well, it'll end, God forbid, I hate to say it, when Tommy is, I'm so sorry to say that, I don't want to be macabre. It'll end when he's dead. And dead either at the hands of a terrorist or dead at the hands of the state. I'm keeping an eye, as you can see it. I'm not quite the last one on the plane. How's he doing in himself? He looked good today. He was here with 3 mates from Luton. I met them, very friendly guys. Good stuff, Ezra. I still got a minute. Find out the journalist's name. I'm trying to. Yeah, I didn't quite hear it. Safe journey, keep up the good work. Thank you. We need to find out who the woman was and expose her address. I don't want to dox her. That's my point, is what she was doing was wrong. Air Canada, that's my favorite way to get to the UK. I'm just making sure they don't board. Don't miss your flight. I won't. It's literally, it's just over there. And as you can see, there's still some people in the line. When the line is down to the last few, I'll get on the plane. Have a safe flight. Thank you. Take care, mate. Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you. You tell everyone about you. What's going on? I prefer Westjet. Well, I mean, they're fine. You're the only journalist I trust, Ezra. Well, thank you. You know, I mean, I don't trust anyone in the UK to do this reporting for me. So I want to know what's happening. I want to see with my own eyes. Go home, bro. Safe travels. Thank you. Thank you. Who is your daddy and what does he do? My dad's retired. Sorry, I meant to tell everyone what you got. Find the reporter. Yeah, I'm very curious. Be careful you don't get arrested too. Well, it's funny. I had a little bit of a hiccup coming in this morning. The machine didn't read my passport. I thought I was being flagged, but it was just a computer glitch. Rebels, the only trustworthy media. Thank you. Let us know when you're back safe. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be tweeting when I'm back. God bless you, Ezra. Thank you very much. Respect from the Northwest. You know, I enjoy Manchester. I've gotten to know it a little bit with Tommy.